Hey everyone, as you can see, I'm not here today. However, I want to tell you what we're going to get up to. Today on Schoology, you're going to find a cultural artifact project assignment. And I'll just walk you through what that's like before we get into it here today. Let me just read to you at the top of this. It says the British Museum is a public institution dedicated to human history, art, and culture located in London, England. Its permanent collection of some 8 million works is among the largest and most comprehensive in existence, having been widely collected during the era of the British Empire. It documents the story of human culture from its beginnings to the present. And so there's a whole lot we could talk about with the British Museum and where all this stuff came from. Much of it probably taken or stolen from different places around the world, but a lot of this stuff has been collected there at the British Museum. I've never visited, but thankfully today, through the power of the internet, we get to all visit the British Museum and start exploring some cultural artifacts. So today we'll have a chance to do that. And we'll click on this link in a second. What you'll be doing is exploring the collection that we see online, and then you're going to use the boxes below to document your visit. If you want to change the color of your text, that would kind of help me to differentiate it from what it says in these boxes here. But we're going to be looking for some artifacts, finding out where they're from, when they're from, and then also thinking about what do these items that we find teach us about people, the people who created them or used them, and what can we infer about the culture that created this item? Based on what we know, what kind of inferences can we make? So, just to start, we're going to click here and just be patient. Once you click, you'll see some little dots kind of forming here. It's loading, and they'll start kind of freaking out a little bit, and then they'll explode. And keep being patient, you'll see some little constellations forming here, and then it's all going to form itself into a timeline, just like this. And so then you'll be able to take a look at the timeline here. You'll notice there's some sound that goes along with this as well. But on the left hand side, you see kind of the present day. And so as we go back on the timeline, we're going backwards in time. It's also organized by color. Africa is this yellowish color. We have the Americas, Asia, Europe, and Oceania. And so, really, what you're going to do is explore and just really click on any item that you want to. Any random dot will do. I'll take a look at this one. This one says wall paintings showing martyrs. Interesting. I could look at that if I wanted to. Let's go over here. A shark tooth sword. That sounds pretty interesting from Micronesia. Anything that you find might be interesting, you can do find out more, and then it will give you an option to kind of look at it a little bit closer. Feel free to screenshot or copy these images and put them on your document if you'd like. We've got some information about it. I won't read this to you, but you can read about any item on this timeline and what it's all about. You can also play some audio.
This sword is made of shark's teeth and comes from Kiribati. Here is Ben Burt, curator of the British Museum's Oceania collections, to tell us more about it.
And so what you'll hear on the audio is different than what you can read here. So I would encourage you to read and also listen about the item. And you'll be able to view a map and some related objects as well. And if that's not quite the thing you want, then you can search for some other items as well on this timeline. Notice that if you click the I, it's going to give you everything, but then you can also specify by some of these different categories over here on the right. Maybe there's some things that are more interesting to you than others. But go ahead, find some items. There's probably hundreds of them on this timeline. And you'll have a chance then to explore. Once you've got one item, again, name it, talk about where it's from and when it's from, and answer these two big questions here. There is space on this worksheet for 6 different items, and I think we have enough time to probably get through all 6. You'll submit this before you're done with class today. Even if you don't finish, I'd like to kind of see what you were able to accomplish in the time that you had. And if you have some extra time, if you get done with some time to spare, you might want to continue reading your choice book, or you might even want to go back to some of the work that we have been doing in this unit so far. So maybe that pink sheet with the Rings of Culture, if you didn't finish that, maybe give some more attention to that. Last class, we had an assignment called the well, it was all about personal deep culture. That was on day 2 of the unit guide. Maybe you got around to that, maybe not. If you didn't, you might want to check that out. Or if you want to finish what you started last class, that might be something too if you have some extra time. But dedicate your time to this, do the best job you can, have fun exploring this timeline in the British Museum. Thanks for listening. Have a good day.